Hello, and you're all very welcome along to the latest Champ.ie podcast, Ireland's premier horse racing podcast in association with Boyle Sports, Gorham Park Racecourse, EJ Menswear and Shamrock Thoroughbreds.
As they race up the hill towards the finish, Hart the Herald here on Perry Pass has absolutely bolted up under Paul Town, and Perry Pass won by wide margin. On the final 150 yards, it's Irish Point from Marie National, who's coming with every stride. They're going to the line. Irish Point, Marie National on the near side.
If you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Champ.ie YouTube channel, as it helps to get horse racing content out there to the wider audience. We look forward to reading all your hashtag 5cast selections in the comments section below. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome along once again to the latest edition of Champ.ie, which of course is our show looking ahead to day 3, the big one. It's the Grand National at Aintree on Saturday. A big thank you to our sponsors before we start. Gorham Park Racecourse, big weekend happening down there in June, of course. Stephen Thorne, winter champion at Dundalk. Many congratulations to him, and to EJ Menswear. $2.99, that's a big bundle down there. He'll get you sorted out for the tailored bundle for the rest of the racing throughout the racing season. And Boyle Sports, what offers they have ahead of the Grand National? They've got Boyle Extra Card. If you haven't got one, why not get one? And of course, money back 2nd, 3rd and 4th on selected races to the SP favourite. Of course, 6 places on offer for the Grand National itself at 4 o'clock on Saturday. And of course, your linked in the odds, as always, available, which is proving ever popular. Barry Doyle, as always, is here to go through the 7 races on day 3. And of course, we want you to put in your selections for day 3 in the comment section below. And we will be announcing the winner of 2 tickets to the Irish Grand National, kindly given to us by Boyle Sports. And keep an eye out in the comment section below for that winner during the week.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.
Right, let's get the show on the road. And we start off with the first race at Aintree on Saturday, which of course is the Grade 3 Handicap, 3 miles, half a furlong. Plenty of selections in here and plenty of value to be had, Barry. What do you like in the opener on Saturday?
Yeah, well, there's a couple at the top end of the market, David. The top might have had tough races at Cheltenham, the likes of Jericho, the Repine, Catcham, Derry for the Skeltons. Skeltons have a real good record in this handicap. They've won it on 3 occasions in the last 5 years. But there's a couple above the shortlist. There was, I thought, Active Authority was a real eye catcher in the Martin Pipe, and the form has obviously worked out well. Woodhoo running well yesterday. And Navajo Indy is stepping up from 2 miles to 3 miles. That was on the shortlist as well. Gavin Sheehan doing seriously well at the moment, and this son of Nathaniel, I thought, should be okay on the ground and looks crying out for a step up and trip after being, I suppose, finishing 3rd in the, of course, big handicap at Newbury when behind Joyu. So that form reads well, and I think this horse definitely will see Navajo Indy to better effect up to 3 miles. And I just thought it was an interesting move by Connections. But the one I really like in here, Dave, is Rushmount for the Jonathan Sweeney team. And an Irish Raider here, 16-1 you're getting about Rushmount. Was a real eye catcher, I thought, at the Dublin Racing Festival. Only beaten 2 lengths by what many people think is the Grand National winner in waiting, Percival Le Gallois. And I thought there was a competitive handicap over the 2 mile and 6 furlongs. And as mentioned, you know, quite unexposed in handicaps here, coming in off an official rating of 140. I thought could be very, very competitive for the Sweeneys, who've only had 1 runner, Dave, in the UK in the last 5 seasons, and yet they've 2 runners at the Aintree Festival. So I just thought interesting that one is coming over. And look at the back form as well. This Rushmount was only beaten a half a length by Lecky Watson as a novice, and the late Michael O'Sullivan obviously had a really good relationship with Rushmount, and you know, it'd be fitting to see him run really well. He's 16-1 in the market, as I said, an intriguing Irish Raider, and he was a real eye catcher, I thought, at the Dublin Racing Festival. Circled almost the entire field, went very wide, and you know, appeared to be coming there with his challenge. I think the nice ground as well. Last time out, won very impressively, and obviously the good ground. It was good ground on that occasion. So Rushmount, I thought there was a lot to like. He has a big weight, but Connections I'd really respect, and I think he could be definitely better than 140. And he's coming here a fresh horse.
Yeah, two in here for me. Firstly, Timmy Tuesday for Danny Gilligan's Mount Gordon Elliott trained runner, 2.5 mile winner last time out up and down Royal. And I thought Step Up and Trip is going to bring out further improvement. And I think there could be any amount of improvement left in Timmy Tuesday. And the second one I really like in this is Paul Nolan's Park of Kings, Mark Walsh on board the JP runner. If you look at the run at Cheltenham, I thought there was plenty to like about it, to be honest. That was in the race that was won by Voodoo. And so we saw how Voodoo ran on day one of the festival. So I think Park of Kings at 16-1 and Timmy Tuesday are the two I would be recommending for each way selections on the opening race on day 3 of Aintree. Let's move on, Barry, to the novices hurdle. It's the grade 1, and what a race this is. And while Nicky Henderson might have had much luck with Constitution Hill falling for the second time in a row, Lulamba was, you could say, robbed on the winning line at Cheltenham. And Lulamba is currently a short price favourite to get the job done for this novices hurdle grade 1 second race on Saturday.
Yeah, he is. And look, at the top of the market, Dave, I'm going to actually make him my nap pick of the day. Because I was looking at the second favourite, Cocktail Devin. He was impressive at Leopardstown last time, but he's £20, if not more, wrong with the favourite. Race conditions and ratings, but he's getting £10, Lulamba, off the second favourite. Haraker's Pearl is one. Look, he's an interesting one in the without market. He's 5-5, low-key novice hurdles so far this season. Won at the festival last year in the bumper for Fergal O'Brien. He's one I'd really respect. And Gordon Elliott has won the last 3 renewals. We mentioned Gordon Elliott's stable form, lots has been made of it, but Honesty Policy is a horse that I think will also relish the Step Up and Trip. And he was good at Leopardstown last time. He's on a hat-trick bid. He's been bought by McManus. And if he's in the picture, jumping the last, he'll take a bit of a beating because he hits the line very, very hard, Honesty Policy, and he looks like he's crying out for a Step Up and Trip. It's a deep enough novice hurdle, Dave, but just looking at race conditions, Lulamba for me, he was the real eye catcher in the Triumph. He looked at the winner the whole way around, and I suppose Nico will probably be wondering, did he get to the front too soon? He appeared to be mugged, and I think there's more to come from him up and Trip. To me, 11 away at the moment. I think he looks, of the short ones, Dave, the nap pick on day 3 of Aintree.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.
Yes, we're going to look ahead to the 2:30 at Aintree on Saturday. It's the 3-mile handicap chase. It's a Class 1 contest, Barry, and plenty of interesting runners, including the very impressive Meyertown who won at Cheltenham. Massive £15, though, for that win. Lucinda Russell's child, Patrick Wedge, on board. An intriguing race, this.
Yeah, he'll be competitive, Dave, off 142, but it wouldn't be absolutely piling in, especially at the prices 130. I mean, speaking of piling in, they absolutely piled into him, didn't they? In the Ultimate, he was a real plunge on the day, and he won like a good one, didn't he? And his jumping, the ground won't be an issue. His jump is a massive asset, and so his jump 4 out actually was one of the moments of the whole festival. If anyone hasn't seen his jump at the top of the hill, Meyertown, he really took off at the fourth last, and it was a sight to behold. But look, at 130, I'm willing to swerve him. When we had Micheál Nolan on the podcast this season, Dave, building up to Newbury, I did speak to Micheál about Imperial Saint, and I said, give us one horse, Micheál, for the spring festivals that you're really looking forward to. And this was the one he gave us. He's 3-3 at Aintree. The nice ground, obviously a big positive for Imperial Saint. He's by Sant the Sant, but his record on good ground is very, very good. And he's unexposed as well, moving up beyond 2.5 miles. Off 144, I thought he definitely could be competitive off that mark. 11 stone 2 here. To set a huge weight to be carrying. And Philip Hobbs has won this race, Dave, twice in the past as well. I thought the good ground could be the key to him, and Stepping Up and Trip is probably what he needs, Dave, as well. So for Micheál Nolan and Philip Hobbs, 8-1 you're getting now about Imperial Saint. I thought he was the each way pick in the race.
Well, we move on to the Grade 1 Liverpool hurdle. This is going to be some race here. T. Hoopo, another who ran an absolute belter in defeat in the Stairs hurdle at Cheltenham, is at the top of the market from Kitzbühel for Willie Mullins, who's had some festivals so far. And this is an intriguing race. Home by the Lee in there for Joseph O'Brien, unseated in the Stairs at Cheltenham. Probably a little unlucky. Look, you never know how he was going to run, or his run was going to peter out, do we, that day, Barry, because went way too early. And then you've got, of course, Strong Leader, who there was so much talk about earlier on in the season for Ollie Murphy and Sean Bowen. So an intriguing contest. But your thoughts on the Liverpool hurdle?
Yeah, look, I think Strong Leader definitely could be overpriced, Dave. I mean, he won obviously this race last season, and he's 2 from 3 at Aintree. Always runs a big race for the Ollie Murphy team, who are absolutely flying it at the moment. I think it's worth mentioning Ollie Murphy operating at a 33% strike rate. So I'd expect him to be banged there. Home by the Lee and Tiupu, I'd be against both of them. Tiupu, first of all, we know he's better fresh, and we know he's better on soft ground. It's going to be very lively ground, I think, on Saturday at Aintree. And look, I know he ran an absolute cracker on nice ground at Cheltenham, but there's no question he is more effective. I think you have to be taking him on at 5-2 at the top of the market. And Home by the Lee, I said it heading into Cheltenham, 10 years of age. He'd already had 3 cracks, I think, at the Stairs hurdle prior. Or maybe it was his 3rd crack at it. But, he's a horse that his best form seems to be this side of the Irish Sea. And when he travels over, be willing to certainly take him on. I thought he was heading into Cheltenham the worst price. Obviously, he said he unseeded, so we don't really know how he would have finished. They say he looks a different animal this year, but I'm willing to take him on. Kit's Boohel, this is the one I like, Dave. And look, he's very, very unexposed, obviously. 5 years of age, owned by the Donnellys, having just his 3rd start for Willie Mullins. But I thought what he done in his 1st start on quick ground at Punchestown over a trip plenty short. I mean, this was over 2 miles, and he's beaten Colonel Mustard on his 1st start for Willie Mullins, who was rated 146, by the way, every day of the week, Colonel Mustard. And, he's beaten him convincingly by 3.5 lengths. So he's ran close enough to a mark of 150 in his 1st start in Ireland. He's rated 153 now. Look at his form at Gorham Park as well on softer ground last time. In the Red Mills, Dave. Break My Soul was 2nd, and that's went on to run a really good race behind Lassie Mountain Voodoo, of course, earlier on at the festival. So to me, look, his last 2 runs have been over 2 miles. When I saw him at Punchestown, I said, I can't wait to see this fella. Never mind over 2.5, but up to 3 miles. Willie Mullins, I don't think he's the strongest record in this particular race, but Paul Townend and Willie Mullins, how can you back against him at the moment? I don't need to talk to you about stable form. I think Paul Townend, heading into day 2 of the festival, is operating at a 67% strike rate in the last 2 weeks. And Kit's Boohel, for me, the Red Mills trial hurdle winner, I think he's going to take a bit of beating in this, in truth. And maybe one of the bigger price, Altabelli. Don't be surprised if that outruns its odds of 33-1. I think he's form on decent ground. He's another that looks like he's unexposed moving up in trip. But Kit's Boohel, 5-1. I think Willie Mullins could have a Stayers contender in this one.
Yeah, I think you could get many results, to be honest, in this. I think it can throw up anything, this Stayers race. I think there's 4, 5, 6 of these on their day can win this. And look, I was very sweet on the chances of Home by the Lee at Cheltenham, and I'm not going to desert him. I felt unlucky to be unseated, and I think this track at Aintree for Home by the Lee is going to suit him. Just one other as well to mention, Dan and Harry Skelton, Gwynnie May Boy. I'm sure the Skeltons, after Willie Mullins' day 1 bombardment at Aintree, they're lucky that they're 600,000 more ahead this year than maybe they were at this point last year in the Trainers' Championship. But Home by the Lee and the other one, Gwynnie May Boy, I think they'll be bang there in contention. Well, it's the feature, it's the Grand National, it's the race that stops not just a nation, it stops the world. And again, we have some lineup for the big one. 4 miles, 2.5 furlongs. The defending champion is back to defend his crown at the top of the market. Stumptown is one of a couple of intriguing runners for Gavin Cromwell, who's had a tremendous season. He's also got Vanillier. We've got Iroko. We've got the story of Hewick, the 800-pound horse. If this was to go and win the National, as they say, Barry, they're already talking about making movies of him.
Yeah, well, God help John Glendon down at the Point Depot if Hewick wins the Aintree Grand National. Let's say he'll have to, I don't know what will happen, but funny enough, Dave, well, not funny, he's on the short list because the ground is drying out for Hewick, and the money has come for him, and look, Shark is talking him up, and he's coming here in really good form as well. I was really impressed with his prop run over hurdles, Paddy O'Hanlon on board down in County Tipperary, and I thought it was a real good run, and so he travelled with plenty of zest. I think as well as that, the Aintree fences now, we saw Tiger Roll win it, not the biggest individual in the world. Hewick, he's not the biggest specimen, but he's a huge heart, and don't rule out this horse if he's banged there. I mean, he will stay galloping. He's a King George winner. Don't forget, and he's not even carrying top weight here, Dave. Gavin Sheehan back on board once again, reuniting the partnership. I genuinely think he's an each way chance. I don't think Backham now I think you'll actually get a bigger price on Hewick on the day. Yeah, so if you're asking me for a number one selection in the race, David, has to be Manila Kakuna. And Johnny Burke has come in for a cracking ride on this. And, he's rated 152 in Ireland. He's 157. The BHA have given him as a mark for the Aintree Grand National. And it's all been about one day with Manila Kakuna this season. His form on decent ground reads very, very well. And this is his time of year as well. He ran a cracker, had to finish third in the Boyle Sports Irish Grand National last season, behind, of course, Intense Raffles, only beaten 4 lengths, and then went on off the back of that run to back up quickly and actually won the Whitbread on decent ground off 151. So he's only £6 higher officially here. I think he's tailor-made for the National. This horse won a Grade 1 as a novice herder as well. He's 9 years of age. He's the right profile. And that would be the number one pick. I mean, best priced 18-1 at the moment, Manila Kakuna. And the other one to make the short list, Dave, I think Beauport could run a big race for the Twiston Davis team. He looks tailor-made for a test like this, and a 9-year-old as well. Lightly raced 9-year-olds. So they'd be the 3 for me. Manila Kakuna, Beauport, and I think Hewick will run a big race in the National, Dave.
Yeah, 6 places on offer with Boyle Sports. I'm going to give you my 3 for the Grand National. I think Vanillier is an absolute cracking bet for the big race on Saturday. I thought there was plenty to like about that 3rd place finish behind Stumptown and off a racing weight of 10 stone 6. I think that's very, very appealing. I'm also going to give a positive mention to IAmMaximus. Willie Mullins and Paul Townend have the defending champion. I think he's going to be bang there in contention. And one for Nicky Henderson that I had a few quid on when he won both starts this season, finished second twice. That's a horse by the name of Highland, number 30, Nico de Boinville on board. He's currently a 20-1 chance. And if you fancy something with a bit of value like 20-1, well, I think Highland will be bang there. It's a cracking race. It's a brilliant race. And no matter what you pick, we wish you the very best of luck. But Vanillier, for me, IAmMaximus, and the 3rd one I've just mentioned there, Highland. I think
is Vanillier their number one pick, Dave, in the National?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he is. I think I was so impressed. If you look back on the race at Cheltenham and how he finished off the race, I think they've been really minding this horse. He's a super jumper. So a lovely piece during the week, actually, of Vanillier schooling himself at Gavin Cromwell's. Not sure if you saw it on social media. Absolutely fantastic. Running around, doing all his jumping himself. And I think he's got a massive chance in the race. I really do. I think, but it's a fascinating race. And look, we're really looking forward to it. It's been a great festival at Aintree so far, and we're looking forward to the big one. Right, we're going to be back in just a couple of moments to look at the remainder of the card on day 3 at Aintree.
From Dundalk to Longchamp, from the Galway races to the Breeders' Cup, Shamrock Thoroughbreds have taken owners all over the world.
Tiger Bell in front, holds them. Late on the scene is Dawn Charger storming home, but Tiger Bell in front and won.
Coming through in the centre, Laugh a Minute with a strong challenge on this Laugh a Minute, who goes on in the closing stages to win by like the Laugh a Minute from Fiscal Roots.
But it's Harry's Bar repelling the late challenge of the stable companion Dream Today, and Harry's Bar makes it 6-course win.
Check out shamrockthoroughbreds.com or click the link in the Champ.ie podcast video description to learn more about new racehorse ownership opportunities.
Boyle Sports. Don't just bet. Choose wisely.
Well, welcome back to the final part of Champ.ie. We are previewing day 3 of the Aintree Festival, and we are on to the penultimate race, the 5 o'clock, and we've got Lou the Sud Only by Night and Caliph de Burley, the top 3 in the market for the penultimate, Barry.
Yeah, penultimate, David. I'll be going for a cup of tea because I can't make head nor tail of this, even though there is just the 6 runners. I mean, the Arkle form doesn't look all that strong, but yet I don't want to be with Caliph de Burley either. He wouldn't be for me either, this 5-year-old son of Mass Marvel. So I found no bet in this race, Dave, so I'm going to bypass it. I'm going to go on to the bumper, and I actually do like one. I'm in a forgiving mood when we look at the bumper. We might as well talk about it now, Dave, unless you have an opinion in the penultimate.
I just thought maybe Lou the Sud can bounce back. I thought maybe previously, it didn't finish 4th at Cheltenham, but I just think of the top 3 in the market, I'd be with him. But again, like you, might be a race where we'll have a little ham sandwich and a cup of tea, I think. But the bumper is the finale, the 5:35, Barry, and you do like one in here.
I thought he was a huge eye catcher, and I know you have to forgive David Maxwell, but I have to say, I just think Alcaraz could be the best horse in here. And, I suppose the jockey bookings, etc., is probably all priced in here, because if Patrick Mullins was on Alcaraz for a race like this, I reckon he'd be 9-4 or even shorter. So you're getting the price here. Alcaraz, if he gets a smooth passage through, I was very impressed with his victory in the lead up to the Cheltenham Festival, and I thought he was the eye catcher in the race. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone wants to watch it back, but it was bumper cars up the straight by David Maxwell. He's only beaten 5 lengths by Bambino Fever. The good ground will suit. He won at Newbury, of course, going left-handed on decent ground. That was back on the 7th of November. He was saved for the bumper, and I thought he ran an absolute cracker. Look, I think it's all priced in, jockey bookings, etc. 11-2. I thought it was more than fair.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Joseph O'Brien hasn't had a runner in a bumper in the UK in 5 years. Isn't that quite interesting? You'd imagine with the strength of that. It's a very interesting race, this. El Carros, you're right, David Maxwell on board was such an eye catcher at Cheltenham. I think my late uncle Barry had a great saying, if you're not backing Willie Mullins in a bumper, stay out of it. So with that in mind, I'm going to give Green Splendor for Willie and Patrick. And Nat Pick, of course, if I haven't given it already earlier, it's going to be home by the Lee in that Liverpool hurdle. Cracking day of racing, brilliant day of racing. Good luck with your selections. And remember, add those selections just in the comment section below, Barry, and a great prize on offer, which details will follow on the winner.
Yeah, big kudos to you as well, Dave. Landed an app on day 1 with, of course, Sholin. We're speaking obviously before day 2, but what's the David Byrnes nap of day 3 of Aintree?
Yeah, home by the Lee. I was just looking back over it. Next best Lilamba on day 3. Home by the Lee. I'm going to stick with it. I thought it was going to run a big race. We didn't look a little bit like anything. We never knew what it was going to do at Cheltenham when you won seat and unlucky. And with a little bit more luck, I think ground won't be a problem. I think it'll love conditions on Saturday. And I think at 6-1, it's fair in what is probably a tricky enough race. There's plenty of my chances, but a cracking day 3 and a cracking Grand National as well to look forward to at 4 o'clock.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to Lilamba. I think he'll bounce back. And as I said, look, the second favourite's £20 wrong. He's getting the weight. He's stepping up in triple suit. And for me at 11-8, it's a deep enough contest, but yeah, though Lilamba, I think he'll go and win and give Nicky a big smile, and I'm sure he'll be celebrating with the Liverpool ladies on Saturday afternoon. But there we are, Dave. That wraps up the day-by-day videos. Looking forward to it, and I suppose we will be announcing a winner of our ticket competition, of course, the draw for the week. And to qualify, you must have 3 winners or more. So put in your selections for day 3. We'll be announcing a winner in the comment section, and some lucky viewer and a friend will be heading to the Boyle Sports Irish Grand National. Looking forward to building up to that next week, Dave. Looking forward to the National. Over and out. Talk to you next week. Yes, so hello, Barry Doyle from the Champ.ie podcast, Ireland's Premier Horse Racing Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, David Byrnes, and we're here in Sligo Town, David, in EJ Menswear, and EJMenswear.com. Fantastic season ahead. EJ has kindly partnered up with us to be the men's fashion partner with Champ.ie for the season. And David, we're suited and booted. You're looking sharp.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. And this fantastic bundle and this outfit we're wearing is costing $2.99. It sets you up beautifully for the racing season ahead, which includes Leopardstown at Christmas, Tiestes Day at Gorham Park, and of course, if you want to go even bigger, you can get togged out for the Cheltenham and Aintree Festivals later on in the season.
Absolutely, and of course, check out the Champ.ie podcast right throughout the season, Mondays and Thursdays, and look at the offer, the tailored bundle for the racing season, $2.99, blazer, shirt, chino, socks and shoes. What's not to like, lads? Check out EJMenswear.com to find out all the racing